Hello.
Nice to see you.
Hi.
Hello, Adrian.
Hello.
Hello, George. Hi. Please take a seat. Welcome. So, back from the pause.
Yes.
From the break. How it was your coffee?
Good.
Hot and warm?
Yes.
Hot
Yes.
and warm.
Unfortunately, I saw that it was decaf.
Did you know that at the store from the university, if you're going and buy, you go with your colleagues and you buy 5 coffees, the 6th one will be for free? This is what we realized today.
Really?
Yeah, 5 coffees, 1 for free.
So let's go back on a break now.
Yeah, next break. And they give you like a small paper, and if you're going by yourself, they just put you a stamp, and you drink it paid from Monday to Friday, and next Monday you just give them back the paper with the stamps, and they give you 1 for free.
Very good.
In the last 2 years, I didn't know that.
So they owe you a lot of
They owe me 100 copies.
Great introduction in the coffee and having more friends with you around the coffee. So that's very good because brings us to our subject of communication. Because when you have friends, you communicate with them. So
Okay, so I just communicate to something.
Yes.
We don't even know what is next.
thank you for coming all here. Thank you for coming on time and taking your coffees with you, which is very good. So. For today, we're going to talk about the process of communication. And before that, I would like you to remember what we have discussed last time. But for that, we're going to make a small exercise. So please go on socrative.com and put this code on the student room.
Yep.
I think, yes.
When you have the answers.
Just a second, please.
Let's
Hold on 1 second.
yeah. Okay.
All done?
Hold on.
Just a second.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, join. We have to put also our name, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Please do so.
What?
Why?
I hate 100.
Great.
No way.
So.
I did 150.
You took my 50, now I understand why I got it.
George, you're a genius.
It's second,
Mine too.
Alright.
but I have correct for the 3, so it should be okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go
I
to
remember everything.
Socrative.com to see what are your results. So, 100%. Wow. Thank you very much for your answer.
What?
And now let's talk a little bit about this. What is a condo hotels? Who knows?
Condominium hotel is a mixture somehow between rented rooms and hotel, right?
Great. And who can tell me something about the glamping?
It's a very, not
Posh
very,
camping.
yeah, very posh camping
Very
with tents which offer different quality amenities and
Have you ever stayed in a glamping resort?
That's my next tip.
That's on my to-do list.
No.
No.
but
Have you-
it sounds nice.
Okay, that's very nice. And it was another question there with regards to the hospitals. What is the connection in between these 3 words, put it like that?
Customers.
Customers, very good, Christine. What about the customers? Can you tell me something?
Customers. Okay, in hotel industry, actually the hotel industry's employees are learned how to treat customers, how to treat them, how to make them feel welcome, solve their problems. And nowadays with this that individual, how is it called?
The reservation individuals?
With the reservation from private hospitals, they
Okay.
want to offer to their patients slash customers same kind of services
Service.
of what they found in hotel industry, same hospitality, same standards, service standards and so on. They
Thank
want
you.
to make their patients or guests feel welcome in their hospitals, which
That's
are
very good.
looking more and more like hotels.
Thank you very much for the answer. And talking about patients and customers and the people which are caring about them, can you make a connection to the fact that all the private hospitals are headhunting actually the employees in hospitality? What would they do this?
I guess they're looking for the service standards or qualities of delivering a service.
They are searching the knowledge
Right?
of the hospitality
Of the
professionals.
customer care.
Yeah, of the
Not only
customer care, yes.
Knowledge and
Give
attitude.
them treatment, but to
Yeah.
work on them and to handle them as private person and customers.
And better communicate with
And better
them.
communication.
All right, that brings us to the learning objective of our session today, which actually are how to identify the customer's needs and how to fulfill them. And another objective is how to raise the desire of the employee in order to make the best efforts to gain to give the best service. Another objective is to explain the importance of the communication in the team that he's working and also with the customer, which is very important. If you are communicating well with the team, you're communicating well also with the customer. And finally, explain and maintain the an effective communication with your colleagues and with your customer. So, according to you, what's the communication in your perspective? What do you think about the communication?
Talking.
Talking, the way people interact.
It's the interaction between two subjects which are exchanging informations.
Okay, do you know how old is the word communication and where does it come from?
I think back then they used signs and writings, no? That's what you asked?
Yes,
Maybe I
indeed,
missed it.
yes. And
The
also,
oldest writing messages, I think, is the growth of, I don't know where
Yeah,
in France, where you see the drawings of
The
drawings,
countries
yes,
and
there was a
everything,
communication
it
thing,
was
right?
communication.
actually it was meant to create a link between people.
yeah.
Yes, the communication is the connection in between people in order to make an action.
Alright.
Correct. Okay, thank you very much for your answer. So actually communication is a link, create a link between human and, between two people or many people in order to make an action. I will propose you now to make an exercise which will split us into two teams. I will give you the exercise and we're going to have Christine and Ernesto to make a team, George who will make, let's say, another team, and we have two observers. I will give you the role play. So this is for you, and I will
Mr. Popescu.
read you. This is for the
I am
observers.
Mr. Popescu.
And the exercise is like that. So Popescu family decides after 2 years of pandemic to spend a week on the prestigious hotel on the seaside in Mamaia. So it was a hot summer day, they went on the motorway, and instead of making 2 hours, they make 4 hours, because in Romania, all the people in the weekend goes to the seaside, so the motorway is very, very crowded. So they are arriving at the hotel far beyond the time that, the check-in in. So please make the role play. You have like 10 minutes in order to play the role, and after that to see what are the outcomes.
Okay, can I have 1 or 2 minutes to just read the,
Of course.
so I'm the receptionist.
Yes.
You're the receptionist.
Yeah.
I am Mr. Popescu.
I'm Mrs. Popescu. I can tell them it's from. We have a kid in the car or we don't have a kid?
Let's have 3 kids in the car to make it more exciting. Okay.
Of course, you're always hungry.
You have to keep the belly going. Okay.
But the receptionist is not even aware. We go on a free improvisation, right?
Please improvise and use your imagination in order to make the exercise as real as possible.
Okay.
But no physical attack, no?
This one should we also,
No physical attack. It's you have the desk to protect.
Please
you.
behave.
okay.
Enjoy the show.
So,
So, here we are.
Are you okay,
You
ma'am?
think that he's listening to us, this guy?
I don't know.
I think he's already on.
But
See,
why
I
are
told you we are too late.
But why
We
are
need
you
to
so
get
angry?
powers
I'm
to
here
come.
already. We're here already. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm
The-
fine.
the-
Thank
the-
you.
Listen,
Okay.
we
Upset.
we just had such a long day, and my wife is upset, and I'm upset. We had such a long drive.
It took you 3 hours. You have a room book. So
But the
let's go.
GPS was telling me to go left or
Let's go
right.
to the room. I'm fed up now.
Listen, do you have a room for us?
Yeah, let me check this.
We have a reservation that we made a couple of days ago.
You have a reservation?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
Okay, let me
please.
check.
Do you want to know my name or?
Just a second, please. Let me open the.
I told you
Yes.
he's gonna be
Can
here
you-
to check.
Can you tell me your name, please?
I'm Mr.
On what?
Popescu.
Mr. Popescu. You told me a bit earlier, so that's why I was
Yes,
searching.
that's the reason why I verified to make sure. My wife is
So,
Mrs.
Mr.
Popescu.
Popescu.
I wonder sometimes.
Honey, it's not the time.
Oh, listen, you know, you were always there, we go there, now we are 4 hours late, I'm tired, the kids are still in the car. we
Oh,
have to
the
make
kids
sure-
are in the car.
Yes, we have to sit to pick them up and,
Sir, do you mind? My kids are waiting in the car. My wife is
Please
upset.
wait a second, my computer is thinking.
So I need to wait for you. Honey,
Just a second, please. It's thinking. Okay, so I found your reservation.
yes.
You booked an apartment, and it looks like you didn't confirm it how you should do it by the.
I'm sorry,
email,
what?
and It was cancelled.
what have you done again?
What, me? Oh, what?
This is,
What?
you made a reservation through booking, and 2 days ago we sent you an email asking you to confirm that you will arrive.
There's no way I
I'm sorry,
checked my
we did
email
not
for you this
receive-
morning.
Listen, yeah, late, I want to have a room, give us something, I'm enough
Okay.
now, Can you please take care of
Okay, I will
us?
check if I will have any other rooms available.
Now you're gonna check. We've been here for 30 minutes already and we still didn't
I'm
know.
quite sure it's not 30 minutes, sir. You've been here only 4 minutes. I'm quite sorry that you spent 4
I don't
hours
know,
on the
but the
road,
way
but
you
it's not
write
my
it looks like
problem.
it's longer, so please.
Okay. So, would you like also to eat?
Yeah, if it will be possible,
Okay.
I don't care, do you want to eat?
I just wanna sleep. I just wanna take a shower. Can I get a room?
Okay, you will have your room, just a second. So I have a double suite, but unfortunately the price on the desk is double than the apartment that you already paid.
Well, it's not my fault. You canceled my reservation.
Yeah, but it's not my fault that you didn't confirm your reservation.
Well, I didn't receive this email and I checked my again. I was checking my
You should
spam.
check, you should check also your spam, because we send it, I can show you.
Well, if I don't have the information, there's no way I can confirm. So, whose fault
This
is
is the
this?
policy.
Well, can I talk to someone else other than you?
I'm sorry, no, you came, it's already 11 PM, everybody is gone, you should be here.
Honey, you know what?
I'm trying to
I
stay
have,
calm,
I
you know,
have
this guy is
your, I have your
absolutely
room.
impossible.
I will,
What room do you have? Can we have something or?
yes, yes, it
What?
will, a double one. A similar apartment that you booked, but it's not that one, it's a bit bigger.
How many beds are in the room?
You have 2 rooms, you have one extensible couch for 2 persons, and you have a bedroom with a double size bed, with a matrimonial bed.
Okay, you know what, it's too late, let's just sleep for tonight and then tomorrow do somewhere else.
If you have nothing else to do, fine, but you know,
You want to pay cash or card?
Charge it to my account.
Unfortunately, we cannot do that because the system is locked and you'll have to pay.
It's 11 at night, I don't have a room, I wanna take a shower, my kids are in the car, you're telling me we need to sort this out now?
So yeah.
You know what, let's go.
let's go, there's the other hotel on the top of down the line where they look more.
As you wish.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, bye.
I'm thanking you for a very nice interpretation. Thank you very
Excellent.
much. Popescu family.
Popescu family! We still have the kids in the car, we didn't take them out at all.
Popescu family has some couple problems.
Remember the skits.
You need
But
couple
also
therapy.
George had some problems. So after this nice representation, please, let's see what we can take out of this representation. What kind of communication did we encounter? What are the observers saying?
You wanna say
So
it?
they, both of the parties were somehow disrupted. They somehow didn't find a way to communicate with one each other. The Popescu family was very upset and almost blown away. And the front desk was tired and somehow not motivated to do anything and probably wanted just to go home.
I see. And other, let's say, way
Yeah,
of communication.
I want to add the rudeness of the front desk.
Thank you. I did my best.
Be rude.
Very rude, not cooperative. He didn't ring a bell when they mentioned twice that they have a kid in the car. He should have interfered and try to help the poor kid, right? And then he was arguing with the guests, with the reservation staff. He was blaming them, and then he came up with a sort of solution, but more expensive. And the conflict escalated when he proposed a more expensive room. So the things would get worse and worse by the time goes. So at the end, the customers left upset, and that will affect everything.
I understand. So thank you very much for your comments. In terms of communication, what kind of type of communication did you see in this scene?
I think it was like one-way communication on both sides.
All
We were
right.
talking to someone and the restaurant was talking to someone else. There were no.
There is no bridge,
There
there was
is
no bridge between us.
Between the,
Communication.
It was a fight, not a communication.
So actually communication means talking, which is one type of communication, which is
Verbal
Verbal.
communication. And yes, there were some other types of communication, such as non-verbal.
an other type of communication. Can you give me some example of non-verbal communication?
When he picked up his phone in front of me and
Yeah.
completely.
And when I did, when
Yeah, when you were like
you're
that, you
making,
know.
excuse me, I was like,
it was, yeah.
You showed him the finger.
The finger.
Looking at the phone. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
What other type of non-verbal?
Pointing-
Gestual, you know, saying.
Gestual.
Gestual, that was wrong. Well, not wrong as it could have been, but wrong.
body language.
The body language.
Body language.
Well, I did, yeah, body language. I was at some point aggressive with them, and also verbally, also kind of aggressive.
Yeah, and not attentive.
Yeah, not
I
attentive.
had
I think.
to pause 3
Yeah.
times for you to realize we were there.
Verbal communication examples. So you said that you're not responsive to them.
Yeah,
So non-responsive.
It was actually listening to what we were saying, it was just,
Our CMO, not listening to what we were saying.
All right. What you can tell me about the smile?
there was no smile.
No
Whatsoever.
when did you saw a smile?
If there was any.
So
No,
no
so was
smile.
no smile.
No smile. So yes, this of welcoming a guest into a hotel.
Definitely no.
Definitely,
No.
definitely not. Hope we never run into this situation
I
again.
think we were bothering the
Bothering
the receptionist.
I have a devil's question. Adrian mentioned earlier that George tried to make an upselling with a higher priced room. What would you consider this? A good thing?
Not the way it was presented, because
Alright.
it was forced. It was not
So
a.
no good.
I don't think it was a solution to our situation.
But I also, it was a solution to your situation, but I was trying
It
to.
was a forced upsell.
Yeah,
It
forced,
was not a
imposed solution. It
it
was, I
was-
didn't give him like a choice.
Do that or go away. So we went away.
Yeah, so thank you very much. It was very good exercise. We saw a way of not communicating in a in a good way. Even in the family was not a good communication as far as I see. And I will tell you my personal story when I experienced a bad communication also, but it was on my side. Because when I delivered my first training, it was at the Volvo Car Corporation, and I was a young, trainer in human resources, and the students were mechanical people, they were, fixing cars. And it was end of the summer in September, and we came back from the holidays, and I want to break the ice, and I started saying, so nice that we are here, tanned, all of us, and I was looking, at the person in the back, and I said, oh, Virgil, you are very tanned, and I hope you had a good summer vacation. And at the time, all the people frozen, and I saw the atmosphere very glacial like that, and I was wondering why, and one of the colleagues said to me, Georgeta, this person is a gypsy person, so he's tanned by the nature. So I had a very
Nice time.
I stayed all summer.
In the sun.
And the winter.
It's very good to be, to be aware of what you are talking. So coming back to our slides, we can see that we have two types of communication: verbal communication, as we discussed, and non-verbal communication. And now I would like you to ask you how many steps are in the communication? What is involved in the communication?
Well, you need to have someone who's talking, I guess.
Someone who start talking. Or
Someone who starts talking, and
Someone who listens.
right,
Listens to.
and
And
in the
then in the
middle,
middle there should be
The message.
The message.
The
So there are
message
three-
or
Yeah.
the channel of the message.
Can you give me some examples of these three steps?
Calling somebody on the phone or go buy to some bread. You go to the shop, right? So you ask a question and you receive an answer. There is this exchange of information.
So the normal, I talk to you, you talk to me.
Yes, of course.
I guess
And
in
other ways of-
their communication, we have to speak about all the electronic communication, being the WhatsApp, the email, the SMS, the everything.
We are drowned by a lot of ways of communication, but still we have the three steps. You have the sender, you have the receiver, and you have the way of communicating, the message itself, right?
Have you ever realized when you write emails and it's an exchange, you will still say, hi, Adi, blah, 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 and you will say, hi, Christine, blah, 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 and I will say, hi, Adi, blah, blah, blah. Like it's a formal message. When you're on WhatsApp, at least it goes faster. But I always realize that on messages, people still continue to use the appellation and everything.
Official
Yeah.
way of, nicer way of doing things, which is very good.
The business way.
The business way. Even if it's, ping pong messages.
Can somebody tell me if there are barriers in the communication?
Barrier can be a misunderstanding message.
They are, and what are they? So
Delivering wrong.
barriers.
The receiver doesn't hear or doesn't listen, So not listening.
Not listening?
Or the sender is not capable to send the right answer or to explain exactly what he wants actually.
Bad sending? Would you say
Yeah,
that?
message is not sent clearly.
Well, I guess that can be as well language problem.
Language
Or
barrier.
someone who is, foreigner and doesn't know the local language, or
Well,
something
I'm quite
different.
sure there are more.
they can be handicapped if someone is impaired on something, being on here or more handicapped, so it could be as well.
Maybe he's not seeing, he's only hearing, or maybe he's not seeing and hearing at the same time. So.
Attitude, maybe one, can be one.
Yeah, gesture.
Attitude.
You can send the
You
wrong
can
message.
come to my office.
Or, change my mind.
Not a supportive or not a
Yeah.
open attitude.
Yes, I have an example here where we were in Sofitel Hotel and the director of the hotel had all the time the door closed. But all the time when he speaks to us, he said, "Come to me, my door is always open." But actually, the door was closed. So in terms of attitude, you are very right. You have to walk the talk.
Okay.
Meaning to do what you are saying and say what you are doing. In our example, what other barriers have you seen?
The thing was the fact that we were tired and
Tired
I guess it's in the attitude.
is the attitude and the environment.
Not listening. I wasn't
Yes.
listen to them.
I guess the mood, which is somehow with the attitude, but the mood
Yeah.
of the person. You know, it is, if you're in a bad mood, you don't listen.
Who was in a bad mood?
all of us.
All of us. For different reasons, but all of us.
How was perceived the bad mood of the receptionist by the client?
Oh,
He couldn't care less.
I think it was already adding up to our bad mood to see him reacted that way. It was not pleasant and actually let us grow even more
more upset.
and more upset. So it was not pleasant at all. It was not.
Right, so
Not trying to clarify the message or settle the situation.
good.
He
You
also
know,
did not seem to want to clarify the situation. It was somehow something very normal to him.
So no interest, yeah?
Or no interest, I would say no empathy with the situation. You have to say, I heard that you had a long road, so I know it's there, but let's, it was like,
Good,
your
so
body is there and get out of my way.
these are actually the barriers of the communication process which we encounter mainly every day, because the motivation of the sender was obvious. Yeah, the family, Popescu was very upset and they wanted to have a very quick communication with the receptionist because they want to go have a shower or sleep. Yeah. The example of the environment, can somebody tell me?
Probably being summer, it was very hot outside, and they said that they stood a lot of time on traffic and so on. So probably the environment was also not the best one, and we all know how it's on A2 during the summer. So
What kind of language did the receptionist use?
from the tone of the voice, or
Yes.
so he was
Aggressive.
very flat.
And also
Aggressive.
aggressive as
A bit passive
Yeah, there
aggressive.
was
Passive aggressive, yeah.
the tone of the voice was sending a message that
I don't care less about
I
it.
don't care, don't come and bother me, I have better things to do and play on my iPhone.
I'll have 5 more minutes of my schedule and then I go.
right. So no actually it was no communication. It was a very bad communication. As we see now, the communication is a process. It with the sender, it's communicate itself, and also is the receiver. In between that, there is a 100% transmission from the sender to the receiver. What do you think?
I think sometimes you lose some percentage, speaking of percentages.
How
I
much
think
do you think you lose in this process?
Depends on the kind of conversation, 20%, 30%, I would say.
I guess all those elements on the top have an impact on what level you take from the message, because as well people have tendency, you will tell me something, but I hear what I want to hear, and maybe it's not 100% what you say. I will pick up what's I have already in my head that you confirm, so probably I pick up part of it.
Yes, so
Which I think it's all the misunderstanding.
right, the theory says like that in between what I want to say and what it retains is a difference of 70%. Now mentioning that if I should retransmit what I already get from the sender, it's another 10% loose, which means we have, bearing this in mind, what example can you give me in, what I say and what you receive? Do you have kids?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. When you talk to a kids, your kids, does he or she doing exactly what you said?
Never.
Mine, yes.
How sheer the moment.
6 months.
I mean,
This is a verbal ababa.
I think that's the message she wants to deliver.
How do you answer to that? Ba, 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 ba.
So, what a nice example, George. Thank you very much. But how you think when we are in reception, by example, and we have a customer in front of us, how we have to formulate our what we want to say in order that what he retains is maybe more than 30%. What should be our approach?
I think you have to try to repeat things in the correct way.
Okay.
I think we have to have a pattern that we need to follow as a guidance for welcoming the guests and having the right tone, the right attitude, the right connection with the guest to raise this value up to 100%, at least close to it.
At least too close.
Yes or no, because if you go to open the hotel and you know the speech of the person we said, as a customer you don't listen. So somehow it has to be something more personal, something more, not that you had body X.
You
You
need
need
to
to personalize, you need to create
need
the
to-
contact
yeah.
to.
You need to attract his interest in order
Yeah.
to catch his interest in order to
And
fully listen to you.
correct. That means that you have to put into the customer's
Yes,
shoes, yeah, to treat him like a person. It is a person that you have to treat him like a person that is close to you, is special to you, and you want to fulfill their expectations. How would you treat a disabled person if it comes to reception? And yes.
I think first attitude you need to be, how do I say it? You must to show compassion, or how do I call it? Maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's okay. No.
Somebody else. I'm
But-
lost.
Empathy, but it's not
Empathy,
really empathy
yeah.
because a handicapped person is. Should be
They are
handled as a
actually-
normal human being. It's
Yeah.
not
This is what I was
That's
going
already
to
cool.
say. You should not treat a person with handicap differently.
Like-
You shouldn't make
like
her
they are-
feel
Like she's
that
different.
you have
You know.
you have a problem, something wrong with you. You should treat her normally. You should speak with her normally. You just
No,
have
it's
to.
not because someone
you-
is
yeah.
handicapped the legs that the brain does not
Yeah.
work.
You
That's,
just have to make sure that you anticipate that he or she will have different needs than a, let's say, normal, healthy person, or extra needs.
At what time you should, or how you should offer your help?
You should find a way in order to ask if she needs something extra in an empathic way. Don't make her feel like
She
there's
needs
something
help
wrong
from the
with you. You need to treat her normally, like a normal person. You just need to transmit her that you're there to help her or him in case they have any special needs.
yeah. Well, you know, I had a live example in an hotel where we had a meeting of people who have this often sickness. So we had different level of things. And in terms of communication, we had this preparation before. And the thing was, you help them, but it has to be spontaneous. You know, like one moment I was crossing the lobby and one lady was difficulties to her and she didn't know where to go. I help her, you know, but naturally discussing with her and bringing her to the restaurant to make sure that she was there. It's not like I was saying, oh, poor little lady. I mean, no. I said, let's go together and offer my arm and we walk together. I think this is possible when you have the communication and you have to, you know, they are human beings like you and me. Yeah.
You don't have to make them feel like it's something
No.
with them.
Great example. Thank you very much, Christine.
You're
So yes, there are customers with special needs. We talked about language barrier earlier, and this is about discussing and communicating with disabled person. And now, how we talked about how we treat guests when we are in reception. I would like you to propose a different exercise, actually to repeat the same exercise with the angry Popescu family, but you will be a nice and very professional receptionist,
Okay.
George. Can we do this?
Yes, definitely.
So we have
Can't wait to
only
see
5
that.
minutes for that, so.
Let me read again the scenario.
Hey.
Because they've been also rude and I have to.
You
So
need to
you have
prepare
to-
yourself for me reading
But
rude.
you will see how fast we can change the nice few words.
Good.
Can we have office
Okay.
with us?
This kind of
Okay.
things.
The observer, please observe the change of situation.
Let me know when you're ready.
So, honey,
Oh,
we
okay,
finally
let's
have
go.
our turn.
Yeah.
Cut that.
Thanks, it's time, it's 4 hours and
Let
on
me
the
just
road.
park the car, please, and then we can get out
Yes,
the car and
yes.
we still have
So
it's
we
spraying
have
and all that
four
stuff.
hours that we are on the.
I know the GPS and the road, it was too
Whatever, so
bad.
let's go to the desk.
Good morning.
Good morning, Popescu's family. How are you?
Oh, I had a very long day. Spent 5 hours on the road. My wife is upset. I just had very bad time. Can you
It
please?
was
4 hours, you have listened to me, we will have been there in 2 hours, but of course you wanted to follow the whatever.
The
road.
GPS took me right on the address. I couldn't do any better. They know better. That's the reason why they build things, you know?
Did you have a roadblock in?
There was an accident on the road, so I had to change the road, but she didn't want to. She suggested another road one.
Okay.
It's my fault.
But it's not always your fault. It's always, listen to what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, whatever.
Do you have a reservation in our name?
Yes, Mr. Popescu, I have. It's also your room will be ready in. I will try to speak with my colleagues to make it in 10 minutes in order to facilitate you to check in a bit earlier. than
Listen, I
it's
just want
usually.
to sleep, I just want to eat something, you still have something, because I have the kids in the car, they are hungry as well.
Okay, while the room is ready, can I offer you something to drink and to eat? Have a quick snack, something to
Are you
eat until
familiar?
the room is ready?
That will be great, but can you make sure as well that, yeah, okay, fine.
How many kids do you have?
We have 3 kids in
Three
the car.
kids, okay. So, what would you like to like a sandwich, like?
Can we get some kids food or something just to
Okay,
make sure?
some chicken fingers, some,
Yes,
okay?
yes.
So
Perfect
schnitzel
for the
with
kids,
mashed
yeah.
potato, okay?
That would be doing good. It's already 11:30, they are
I
hungry,
know.
we're gonna check this,
I know.
we're not gonna help.
Okay. Okay, so I just checked with my colleague, your room will be ready in 5 minutes. And I will also speak with my colleagues if it's okay with you to bring the food in your room. I mean, I think it will be more cozy for you to go have a shower, have your
You're
late
still upset
lunch.
me?
I'm still upset, no, it's
And-
better, yeah.
Don't be
Okay.
upset, come on. I will send you also a bottle of wine. in order
Now
to
we're
relax.
talking,
Okay.
now we're
So you
talking.
can relax and enjoy. If you want, I can also make you a booking. I can book you a massage
I
session.
think my
you know.
wife need a
Oh,
massage.
Yeah.
You're wonderful, you make me forget all that stuff
Okay.
waiting on the road, so, yes.
In 2-3 hours will be okay. 2-3 hours, how much? You know?
Yeah, look, what time is it? Let's say around 4. in the
4
afternoon,
4 p.m.
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Would you have any preference? Should be a man or a wife?
Give me a man.
Now you make me laugh.
Are you okay, Mr. Popescu, with this?
No, give me a nice,
Okay,
No,
so-
I want a massage now, excuse me.
Okay, so 4 p.m. for Madam Ms.
Yes.
Popescu and 4 p.m. also. Let's
no,
Let's
it's
give
taking
5 p.m.
taking care of the kids.
Oh.
You have to take care of the
Yeah,
kids.
sorry.
So should I book you also for 5?
We talk later.
Okay, so Mr. Popescu, here is your key from your room. I will arrange with my colleagues to bring you the food and the wine as fast as possible in your room. And if you need something else, please just let me know. Just press 0 on your phone and we'll be here for you to help you and assist you with whatever you need.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
very much.
choosing
You're
us.
most
Thank you
welcome.
for choosing OOM and enjoy your stay.
Thank you very much, you're most welcome.
Well,
Thanks,
I'm thanking
bye-bye.
you for this nice conversation.
Give me back the phone.
George.
You're not being polite
I
anymore.
wanna book a room.
So the observers, what he observed this
Well,
time?
yes, I wrote some things. So, although the customers were still arguing, after the correct attitude and positive attitude of the receptionist, if you noticed, all their answers was yes, 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 yes. So there was no fight anymore, just because the switching attitude of the receptionist. He interfered with the positivism.
Positive, so let's
Yes.
put it here, positive attitude, yeah?
Positive attitude. He was proactive. He was inquiring furthermore for customers' needs, if they need any assistance with the kids, any special treatments. for the
Questions,
kids.
good questions.
He asked a lot of questions to help them towards helping the customers. Yeah.
Okay.
He was very professional in terms of the kids. That's what I
Professional?
noticed. Actually, at a certain point, the customers were speechless. They didn't speak anymore because he was talking all the
He
time.
absorbed all the negative energy. Took it on.
And he made some jokes, so the customers, although they travel all day long and they showed up very tired, their mood changed in a minute and they
Rapidly.
forgot about this
So it
bad
was,
trip that they had.
He also was smiling all the time, so
Smiling.
that sent a positive message to the guest.
okay, and non-verbal attitude, what you have?
I would say he was smiling, he was bending to others. You know, the
Bending,
first thing
yes,
he was
yes.
sending, he was
Bending towards, yeah.
bridging the two.
Great, so thank you very much. It was a very good exercise to see how we should dress at the front desk, yes? So eye contact, smile, good morning, good afternoon, yeah, we use the guest name, so very well.
The only
very
thing
well
that you
done.
did not do.
Welcome to the hotel.
You did not give your name, I'm George.
Yeah, I didn't say.
No.
Yeah, we know you, George.
But I know you.
And I didn't say that welcome to the hotel, but I said at the end, thank you for choosing.
Yeah.
I would say, I would
Yeah.
have said, thank you for flying with
So, yeah, finally, we arrive at this slide which actually regroup all what you have said before, meaning how to treat a guest, how to welcome, how to greet, and how actually what was the most important takeaway that we get from this final exercise.
I think both messages and the message sent and the message received was well and clear by both parties on the positive.
Great.
If doesn't matter how, okay, you can have rude customers, this is a given, and you can give them the moon and the sun. If they want to be rude, they will be rude and period. But I also saw it in my interaction with other guests when I was working in a hotel. And if you're positive, even if they're upset of something, or if they have, I don't know, a bad day, if you're leaning through them, and if you're smiling, if they observe that you're trying to fix their need or their problem, their attitude will change.
That's the point. Thank you very much for bringing up. The attitude of the customer changed rapidly and really dramatically, I would say, according to the receptionist attitude also and behavior.
And I think the important thing is that through communication you can change the mood of the
Yeah.
customer or the mood of around by talking and listening, because in fact that's the big difference. communication is based on what we have seen here, is based on good listening, because you listen to what we say, you could really open the communication, which we
Yeah.
did not manage in the first thing. There was no open communication. No, there was an open communication where we were exchanging.
Great, thank you very much, Christine. Now we'll jump to conclusions.
I have, before we
Yes,
jump to,
please,
I have a
sorry.
question, because I saw a bit earlier into the slides, how you should greet a guest in, when it comes to your hotel, and I saw welcome Mr. Schmidt, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong. It was like welcome Mr. Schmidt, yeah, Mr. Schmidt.
Mr.
What,
Popescu. is
Mr.
our
Popescu, or
yeah.
whatever. How you should address to walk-ins which you don't know their name? If they don't have a book, they don't have a book, and they just see your hotel, walk in, I would like to have a, how you should,
What the class is responding to this?
Well, it's always, from the beginning, if you don't have that attitude, that positive, that welcome view, you will always have a different.
no, my
No,
question
but
was,
if you don't know, I think you.
how you should address to them when
have
you
to
don't know
address,
who they
you
are?
know, Mr. or Mrs. Welcome. I think it's the same thing.
Okay,
But you will
By
get,
trying to get the name, the
Yeah.
moment, I think what's important, the moment you have the name, because of confirmation of reservation or things that you change and you use. You know, like you did in the example, when I saw we had Popescu, you say welcome family Popescu, or you say welcome Mr. Popescu, I can remember, but you know, you right away personalize the thing, and I think that's what is important, is really to use
Okay.
the
Yes,
name.
great answer. Thank you very much, Christine.
so once you basically welcome Mr. or welcome to our hotel, and once you
That's all
find out
right.
his name or her name, you just
Yeah.
personalize the communication, okay?
Correct. So what would be
The only
the
problem is that you have a Mr. Ding Chong Tang. Sorry.
Yes, indeed. So the conclusions of our sessions today actually are the success of the communication is the main ingredient to a successful integration in hospitality business. You have to know that all communication, verbal and non-verbal, is very important in order to succeed in this industry. And as we saw, there is a degree of alteration in the communication in between the sender and the receiver, and also in what the receiver is transmitting further. Our aim is to minimize this gap in between this, in order to be able to transmit exactly what we wanted to transmit, and to make the receiver transmit further the very best that we have seen. And also, the customers' needs in hotel business are basically clear. We know what they want, as George mentioned it earlier, but we always have to ask questions to see further details that we can go the extra mile, as we said. So for the final exercise now, I would like you to take this piece of paper and to write one thing that you extract from this session, and stick it on the whiteboard here. It's for you. Oops, sorry. And you can take my knife, and we have this one also. And I have one here in order to write on the board, which are the takeaways from this session today. Active listening. Here. Open channels of communication.
Come on, Mr. Popescu.
It's my wife.
It took you 4 hours to drive.
It's taking me longer to write. I'm only one I managed to get.
And attitude, yeah. Bravo.
Mr. Popescu,
Thank you, my colleagues. Thank you, Mr. Popescu. Thank you, George. And this session prepares us for our next session, which will be tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And that would be a communication process within a sales trip. How to communicate when we want to sell a hotel room. Thank you very much. It was a very pleasant day with you today.
That's wise.
Thank
Thank you very much,
So
Georgeta.
tomorrow we start at 10, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have other question
No.
with regards to this
In-
to today?
No, that's fine. Let's try to communicate openly and
yes,
And
dear.
freely.
Yes,
freely.
yeah.
Feel free
Thank you
to
for
ask
communicating to us.
And I hope we did communicate it back to you.
It was a great session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.